9 out of 10 drivers are using at least one feature in their car that's quietly cooking their transmission, and they have no idea they're doing it. These aren't abuses, they're conveniences, the stuff that's supposed to make driving easier. I've spent 22 years pulling transmissions apart, and I can tell you exactly which habits show up on my bench over and over, in cars that should have had another 100,000 miles left in them. Most of these die before 150,000, not because the car was built wrong, because of something the driver did every single day without thinking twice. We're counting down 11 of them, and the one at number 1 isn't even something you do. It's something the manufacturer did for you. The most convenient feature of all, the one designed so you'd never have to think about your transmission again. It's also the one that kills more of them than anything else on this list. Let's start at 11. Number 11, slamming into park before the wheels stop. When you roll up to a spot and shove the lever into park before the car has fully stopped, a single small piece of metal called the parking pawl is what catches all that momentum. It's a little hook about the size of your thumb. It was designed to hold a parked car, not to stop a moving one. Here's what they don't tell you at the dealership. That pawl was never engineered as a brake. Every time it catches a rolling car, it chips, bends, or wears the gear it bites into. And that damage is permanent. I've had transmissions on the bench where the pawl was rounded off like an old worn key. The teeth on the parking gear shaved down from years of almost stopping. The owners never felt a thing until the day the car rolled out of a driveway it was supposedly parked in. So change the order. Come to a complete stop, set the parking brake first, then move to park. That takes you 1 extra second, and it pulls the entire holding load off that pawl and onto the brake where it belongs. On a repair ticket, a chewed-up parking mechanism and the valve bodywork that usually comes with it runs around $1,890. The habit that prevents it is free, and the next one does its damage before you've even pulled out of the driveway. Number 10, driving off the second your remote start fires. Remote start is the ultimate convenience. You walk out to a car that's already running and warm. But the moment it fires on a cold morning, the transmission fluid inside is thick, cold, and barely moving, like honey straight out of the fridge. Here's what most drivers never realize. Starting the engine does almost nothing to warm the transmission. That fluid only comes up to temperature once the car is actually moving and working under load. Until it does, the clutches inside are grabbing on fluid that's too cold to protect them the way it's supposed to. A school bus driver outside Minneapolis came in with a 2016 Toyota Highlander that shifted hard every single winter morning. She'd remote start it, climb in, and pull straight onto the road at speed. She was always running late. By 140,000 miles, the front clutch pack was glazed and slipping. The rebuild ran her $3,240. Now here's the part people get wrong. You don't need to sit there idling for 10 minutes to fix this. That's a different myth, and it does nothing for the transmission anyway. Just drive gently for the first mile or two. No hard acceleration, no flooring it up the on-ramp until the car feels like it's shifting clean. That smoothness is your signal. The fluid has finally come up to temperature. Number 9. Coasting in neutral to save gas. Somewhere along the way, a lot of drivers picked up the idea that slipping into neutral on a downhill or coasting up to a red light saves fuel. It feels efficient. It's costing you on both ends. Here's what the people who taught you this never knew. When you coast in gear with your foot off the gas, a modern fuel-injected engine shuts the injectors off completely. You're burning zero fuel in that moment. Drop into neutral, and the engine now has to idle to keep itself running, which means it's back to sipping gas. You didn't save anything. You spent more. And every time you drop from neutral back into drive, that little clunk you feel is the whole driveline absorbing a hit it never needed to take. Be honest with yourself for a second. When was the last time you coasted in neutral thinking you were beating the system? Drop a comment below and tell me, lifelong neutral coaster or never touched it. I read these. The fix is the easiest one on this list. Leave it in drive, let off the accelerator, and let the car slow itself in gear. You burn less fuel, you keep the transmission loaded the way it was built to run, and you get engine braking thrown in for free. On the cars where neutral coasting becomes a years-long habit, that repeated re-engagement wears the input components and the repair starts around $3,470. Those drivers save nothing to get there. The next one is something you switch on to relax, and it never stops working your transmission the entire time it's on. Number 8, letting cruise control fight every hill. Cruise control on a flat highway is one of the best features ever put in a car. Set it, relax, let the miles go by. But the second the road starts to roll, long grades up and down, cruise control turns relentless. To hold your exact speed up a climb, it forces the transmission to downshift and hang in a lower gear, then shift again at the crest. Up, down, down, all the way through the hills. Here's what they don't put in the owner's manual. That constant gear hunting generates real heat, and heat is the #1 thing that destroys automatic transmission fluid. Every cycle cooks it a little more. 2 identical midsize SUVs came through the shop, both right at 120,000 miles, both driven daily over the same mountain pass. One owner left cruise control on for every climb and let the computer chase the speed. The other clicked it off the moment the road tilted up and drove the grades by foot. The first one's fluid came out brown and smelling scorched, 6 months from a $2,760 repair. The second one's fluid was still cherry red, same road, same miles, one habit apart. So on flat highway, use cruise all you want. That's exactly what it's for. But when the road starts rolling, click it off and drive the grades yourself. Let the transmission settle into a gear instead of hunting for one. The next one is happening every time you sit still, which in traffic is most of your drive. Number 7, sitting in drive at every long stop. You pull up to a long light, a train crossing, a drive-through line 10 cars deep, and you sit there and drive with your foot on the brake. It's the natural thing to do. Inside the transmission, though, you've just started a standoff. Here's what most drivers never realize. In drive, the torque converter is still trying to push the car forward, and your brake pedal is the only thing holding it back. That tug of war doesn't vanish because you've stopped moving. It turns straight into heat, right inside the fluid, exactly where it can least afford it, and it gets far worse in summer. A rural mail carrier near Tucson ran a 2015 Honda Accord that spent its whole life crawling and idling in 100-degree heat, always in drive, foot pinned to the brake at every box. The fluid baked. By the time it reached me, the torque converter was shuddering under load and had to be replaced. $1,640 he never saw coming. So at a genuinely long stop, 30 seconds or more in real heat, slip it into neutral and rest your foot. You take the load off the converter and let the fluid cool down. At a normal quick light, don't bother. Just stop parking yourself and drive for minutes at a time when you don't have to. We're past the easy half now. The next one does its damage in a single second. And a lot of you do it every time you back out of a parking spot. Number 6, swinging from reverse to drive before the car stops. 3-point turns, pulling out of a tight spot, backing into a driveway and then jumping forward. You're rolling backward and you yank the lever into drive, or rolling forward and slam it into reverse before the car has actually stopped moving. For half a second, the transmission is being told to push the car 2 directions at once. Here's what they don't tell you. Inside that case, gears, bands, and clutches that were just spinning one way are forced to grab and reverse against the car's own momentum. It's a hard mechanical shock, and it lands on the same parts every single time. According to the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association, directional shifts made before a vehicle comes to a full stop are among the most common causes of premature internal wear technicians see on the bench. And almost none of the drivers had any idea they were doing damage. The fix is one word: stop. Come to a genuine, complete stop with your foot on the brake before you move between reverse and drive. Half a second of patience instead of a half second of shock. Skip it long enough, and you're looking at internal hard part damage that starts around $4,180. A full stop costs you nothing but a breath. That repair already runs 4 figures. The next one starts there and climbs fast, and it's the most expensive habit on this entire list. Number 5, never touching tow/haul mode when you're loaded down. You hook up a trailer, throw a half-ton of mulch in the bed, load the family and the gear for a road trip, and you drive exactly the way you always do in regular drive. That tow/haul button sits right there on the shifter, ignored, because the truck seems to pull just fine without it. Here's what most drivers never realize. Tow/haul mode isn't a gimmick. It changes the shift points and locks the torque converter sooner, and the whole reason it does that is to keep heat out of the transmission when it's working hard. Leave it off under a heavy load, and the converter slips longer on every shift, and that slip turns into the exact heat that bakes your fluid. A building contractor outside Dallas towed a loaded equipment trailer behind his 2017 Chevy Silverado all summer. Every job, never once pressing the button. By fall, the fluid was cooked and the transmission was slipping on grades. The rebuild came to $5,310 for a feature he'd been driving past with his thumb every single day. So when you're loaded, towing, or climbing, press the button. That's the whole fix. Let the truck shift the way the engineers set it up to shift when it's working. Quick reminder before the last few, if this is saving you a repair bill, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it's what keeps these videos coming. Number 4, flooring it for every merge and every pass. You need to get on the highway so you bury the pedal. Someone's slow ahead of you so you stomp it to pass. The car surges, you get where you're going, and it feels like exactly what all that power is for. Here's what they don't tell you. When you floor it from cruising speed, you trigger what's called a kickdown. The transmission drops 2 or 3 gears in an instant and slams a set of clutch packs together under full engine torque. Done once in a while, no harm. Done as a daily driving style, those clutch packs wear like brake pads. I've torn down transmissions from drivers who treated every on-ramp like a launch. The clutch material comes out glazed and thin, the fluid full of the friction dust it shed, and the telltale dark varnish from all that heat. You can read a person's right foot in the condition of their clutch packs. It's never wrong. The fix doesn't mean driving like you're afraid of the gas. It means rolling into the throttle instead of stabbing it. Give the transmission a beat to pick the right gear and engage it smoothly. The clutch pack rebuild that hard habit earns runs about $2,950. Easing into the pedal costs you maybe 2 seconds of merge time. Number 3. Playing with the paddle shifters like a toy. Your car came with paddle shifters or a manual gate on the console, and now and then you click into manual mode to feel a little sportier. Hold a gear longer, bang through a couple shifts, let the engine sing. It feels harmless. It's a feature they put there after all. Here's what most drivers never realize. In manual mode, you're overriding the computer that's been protecting that transmission this whole time. Hold a low gear too long, and you keep the engine and the fluid running hot for no reason. Hammer the upshifts and downshifts by hand, and you're forcing engagements the computer would have smoothed out on its own. Be honest about how you actually use those paddles. Are you using them to control the car on a real grade, or are you just clicking them because they're fun? If it's the second one, your daily commute is paying for a few seconds of entertainment. For everyday driving, the fix is simple. Leave it in drive and let the computer do the job it was programmed to do. It shifts smoother, cooler, and smarter than any of us can by thumb. Ignore that and the valve. Body and shift control work that comes from all that manual abuse starts around $1,470. Now here's the thing about everything you've heard so far. Every one of these is something you do. Number 2 is different. It's a setting you leave switched on without ever thinking about it. And number 1 isn't a habit at all. It's the convenience the manufacturer built in, so you'd never have to think about your transmission again. And it's quietly killing more of them than anything else on this list. Number 2. Leaving the car in sport mode all the time. The first time you press sport mode, the car wakes up. Sharper throttle, quicker downshifts, more snap when you ask for it. A lot of drivers like that feeling so much they just leave it on. Every drive, every day. Here's what they don't tell you. Sport mode keeps your engine spinning at higher RPM before it lets the transmission upshift, and it holds the gears longer on purpose. That means more heat, more often, for no payoff on a quiet commute to the grocery store. You built that mode for the on-ramp and the back road. Run it to the mailbox and back, and you're just cooking fluid for a thrill you're not even using. 2 identical sedans, both at 110,000 miles, came through within a month of each other. One driver left the car in normal mode and only flicked sport on when he wanted it. The other left it in sport permanently because, in his words, it felt faster. The first car's fluid was clean and the shifts were crisp. The second car was already slipping between gears and smelled hot, sitting 6 weeks from a $3,820 repair. So leave the car in its normal or eco setting for everyday driving and save sport mode for the moments you'll actually feel it. The transmission runs cooler and the feature lasts as long as the car does. That's the last habit on the list. Now, the one you've been waiting for. And remember, this one isn't something you do at all. Number 1. The disappearing dipstick and the lifetime fluid lie. Pop the hood on a lot of modern cars, and you'll notice something missing. There's no transmission dipstick anymore. There's nowhere to check the fluid, nowhere to top it off, and somewhere in your owner's manual is a line calling the fluid filled for life or sealed for life. The message is clear. Don't worry about it. Never touch it. The most convenient maintenance there is. None at all. Here's what they will never say out loud. Lifetime means the life of the warranty, not the life of the car. That fluid is good for maybe 60, 80, 100,000 miles, and after that, it breaks down like any other fluid, loses its ability to protect the clutches, and turns into the exact thing grinding your transmission to death. They took the dipstick away so you'd stop looking. A car you never service is a car that needs a new transmission right about the time the warranty's gone. And that's a feature, not an oversight. A retired teacher in Columbus brought me a 2017 Toyota RAV4 with 138,000 miles, shifting rough and clunking into gear. She'd done everything right her whole life. Oil changes on time, tires rotated, the works. But every shop told her the transmission was sealed and lifetime, so in all those years, not one person had ever touched the fluid. When we dropped the pan, what came out wasn't red. It was dark brown sludge that smelled burnt, with a film of clutch material coating the bottom of the pan. The fluid had been dead for 40,000 miles, and the damage was already done. A full transmission replacement came to $4,640 on a car that was otherwise perfectly healthy. A proper fluid service done years earlier would have cost her $215. So here's the fix the manufacturer buried. No matter what your manual says, that fluid is not lifetime. Find a shop that will do a proper drain and fill every 50 to 60,000 miles, sooner if you tow or sit in traffic. There's no dipstick, but there's still a fill plug, and a good tech knows exactly how to check and set the level. That one decision is the difference between a transmission that quits at 138,000 and one that's still shifting clean past 300,000. That lifetime fluid lie is so big it deserves its own video. Exactly how often to really change it, how to do it on a sealed transmission with no dipstick, and the one mistake that ruins more transmissions than skipping the service ever could. It's on the screen right now. Click it and I'll show you the whole thing. I'll see you there.